In this clip, we're going to look at how to set up the college fund part of this bank record assignment and get it formatted, set up, and how to run the formula on it. So the college fund is really just adding 12 numbers. It's adding all the amounts that were left over or that were saved and labeled at least $5,000 each month, labeled to college fund. So if we zoom out of this completed bank record, you can see that we're really concerned with two things each month. We're going to be concerned with the date and the amount. So the last date of the month and how much was left over. The last date of each month and how much was left over. And we roll through here, there will be 12 dates and 12 amounts. So before we set the college fund up, let's take a look at the sheets down here. There are different sheets in an Excel book, and we want to now name them because we're going to have more than one sheet with data in it in this assignment. So look down at the very bottom of the screen where you see sheet 1, right-click, use your right mouse button and click on it. You'll get an option to rename that tab, and rename that tab bank record. Because what was in sheet 1 was all this information, all the things that all the money that was deposited, $10,000 each month, and all the things that we spent our money on for each month, and then finally how much was left over each month, and we labeled that to college fund. So you can left click on sheet 2, and then right click on it and rename it college fund. So in sheet 2, we're going to set up the college fund. And when you save this assignment as bank record, both sheets will be there. So there's no need to save this thing any differently. It will all be, it's like a book with many pages. This just happens to be page 2. So the next thing we want to do is we want to change the width of the cells. So if you remember from the bank record part of this assignment, we click on the letter of the row, and that'll highlight the entire row, to infinity, as opposed to just highlighting or trying to highlight a certain section where we might not get everything depending on how long the list of data is. So we click on the whole A column and then hold your left mouse button down, drag over to B and C. So we have all three columns in their entirety highlighted, and then we're going to put our mouse in between any of the columns, either between A and B or B and C, and drag the width out to about 18, a little more, a little less, no problem. So I highlighted column A, held my left mouse button down, drag over, so I have A, B, and C columns highlighted, and I'm changing the width by holding my left mouse button down and changing the width to about 18. In cell A1, type college fund. Go right underneath in A2 and write date. In B2, write amount. And in C2, write balance. So the next step will be to merge and center, and this is kind of a different idea, and it can get confusing, but it's really not. Merge and center allows you to highlight a set of rows and center whatever text is in the rows you have selected. So for instance, if I click on college fund and then I hold my left mouse button down and I drag across A and B and I go up here to where it says merge and choose merge and center, you'll notice that merge and center has centered college fund across two columns, A and B. So I'm going to hit undo. And I'm going to highlight, put my mouse on A1, hold my left mouse button down, and drag across A, B, and C. And this is what we want. We'll click on merge and center, and we'll see that it centers it above the three columns we had highlighted. And just to show you what it would do if we chose 4, click on A1 that says college fund, hold your left mouse button down, we can go across 4, click merge and center, and it centers it above the 4. So depending on how many, here's 2 again. Depending on how many cells you highlight across, when you click merge and center, it will center them based upon the amount of columns that you had highlighted. Okay, so we want to go across A, B, and C, click merge and center, and that will center college fund, the main title of this, over top of A, B, and C, columns A, B, and C. And then I'm going to change the font to make the college fund row title stand out more prominent in this part of the assignment. Next, I'll highlight date, amount, balance. I'm just going right across, left mouse, drag. I'm going to bold, and I'm going to center those. So I'll keep those highlighted, date, amount, balance, and I'll go to my borders, and I'll choose all borders, and you'll notice it put a border around them. I'll do the same thing and add a color. And I'm going to do the same thing with college fund. I will put a border around that, an outside border, and choose a color. So we have this, the labels shaded. We have college fund larger. It's merged and centered. College fund has an outside border around it. Date, amount, balance labels have all borders around them. So that's a requirement to have them shaded, to have borders, and to have college fund, the main title of this, prominent. Okay, next, we want to format the columns like we did before. 2 will be currency, 1 will be date. Highlight or click column A, the entire column A. We want to go into the numbers tab and click date and click OK. Highlight column B and C, and here we can just go into this general numbers tab and make that currency. So that anything we type in these 2 columns now will show up in currency, dollar signs, decimals, and our date will be formatted for the standard date that we used before. So the next step in this assignment, which I've already done, is to go back to this part of the assignment, the bank record, and with a pencil and paper, scrap, you want to write down whatever the last date was and the amount. The last date of April and the amount. The last date of May and how much went to the college fund. The last date in June, how much went to the college fund. The last date in July and how much went to the college fund. You want to jot them down on paper as opposed to trying to copy and paste this stuff, is because particularly the how much is going to the college fund, that's a formula, and it can get mixed up when you try to copy and paste what is a formula into another sheet. So the best way to do this is to take out a scrap piece of paper and write down the 12 dates and the 12 amounts. So you're just going to write down the last date of each month and how much was left. And once you've done that, take a second to do that. It probably takes 5 minutes. You go back in here, and I have them written down, so I'm going to key them in here. So once you have all those keyed in, you can highlight and center these if you want to make it look a little nicer. The next steps are very similar to what we did over in the bank record side of this. We want to type the first balance in because that's what we start with. At the end of the first month lottery winnings, we had $6,150. Now, the next steps are very similar. They mirror what we did over on the bank record side, except here we're trying to find out how much total out of the 12 months of lottery winnings we saved. So rather than subtraction, here we have an addition problem. We just want to add these all up, and the formula is identical, only we're going to add. So we go up, put your mouse where you want the answer to be. Now remember, you type this first amount or balance in. You just carry that over. Then put your mouse where you want your answer to be. Go up and hit Sigma. Click on the first number. Put the addition sign in. Click on the second number. Hit Enter. And once you've done that, you click on the answer that you just got. You look for the black crosshair that's on that little handle on the bottom right-hand corner of the window. Just like on the other side of this assignment, you drag it down. You're going to label it total college fund. You're going to highlight it like you did before. Put a border around it, shade it to highlight it. And other than adding a graphic, you want to go out to Google. You want to find something that relates to college, whether it's something about your favorite college, something you would use in college. That's up to you. You need to put some type of picture in here. Just go out to Google Images, Google something that relates to college, right-click on it, copy it, come in here to a cell and paste it and resize it. And that's it. That's the college fund. That's the last part of this assignment. Once you have this part done, you want to make sure you save, and this assignment will be graded on your computer. So you don't print this assignment out, you save it, and it will be graded at your computer.